Welcome, fans and collectors. This is Marvel and DC 379 with another review, and today we'll be looking at Transformers Generations Thrilling 30 Windblade. Now, before I begin, I just want to get this out of the way. Windblade is an original IDW G1 comics character who made her debut in the comic books, much like Drift, and she was actually a fan-made character, and because of her popularity, she would later appear in other media like the more recent Transformers cartoons. And she is one of my favorite characters. She's definitely my favorite female Autobot character. And there's going to be a release of the Furai Transformers Windblade model kit, and I really do look forward to that because, like I said, I love the character, and well, yeah. So, enough of that. Let's get into the packaging. Transformers Generations comic book included. Here's the comic book that serves as the cover, Windblade, and this is a Hasbro exclusive cover. I really dig that these come with these comic books, because it's a great way for kids to get into comic books when they buy a toy. And for comic book readers, for us, well, it's a free comic. Can't complain. And here's Windblade in packaging. Thrilling 30, Windblade, Autobot, Hasbro logo for ages 5 and up. Warning, choking hazard. And here's the back. And here's the shot of the figure and her in vehicle mode. And a quick read up. Windblade. When given the opportunity to join the Autobot cause, Windblade jumped at the chance. The Autobots were more than happy to welcome her to her ranks. Her near telepathic link to the Titan Metroplex is remarkable power that holds untold potential. And here's that graph style tech specs, which gives a lot of nostalgia for G1ers. I did not grow up with G1, I grew up with Beast Wars, but this would give me a good idea. So that's enough of packaging, now let's get into the figure. So here's Windblade in her jet mode. I don't know if this is meant to be a particular type of jet model or if it's a fictional design, but either way, it does look like a decent jet mode. But I have to address some issues because this mode does have a couple of them. One of them obviously being, yeah, these are obviously her legs. I know they're supposed to be intakes, but they're red and most of the jet is black, so that is distracting. However, the Takara version has most of the jet red with accents of black, and of course it's Takara, they're bound to have better paint schemes. So if you buy the domestic version of this figure, well, this is what you're unfortunately stuck with. And it is gappy, like especially here where the intake legs are supposed to be. And this fin here, it can't close all the way, so there's that ugly large seam gap. I've watched other reviewers who have the same issue, like Bolt Matrix and Runestone reviews, so it's unfortunate that I'm not the only one who suffers this. And the undercarriage, this is obviously robot mode. I mean, I don't mind the chest here, but these are obviously her arms right here. And they're supposed to grab onto these large pegs, so yeah. But there are some good things about this mode, like here, that's really nice venting detail. And for the jet, you can see sculpted rivets all around to make it feel like an actual machine. The turbines actually do spin, which is really nice. And if you want, you can turn them forward, which is a cool feature. I will admit that. And she does have retractable landing gear. And there's 2 landing gear permanently sculpted for her legs. She does have her sword, and if you want, you can plug it into this peg hole. And that kind of fixes the gap. Not really. It's unfortunate that this mode has issues. There's still good things about it. It's just that, personally and unfortunately, there's a lot of flaws with this mode. But if you don't look at it too close, like from a glance, it looks like a decent jet mode. And I'm pretty sure kids would have a lot of fun, you know, playing around with this, going whoosh. So, it's doing its job as a jet. Okay, so that's it for vehicle mode. Now let's get into robot mode. So here is Windblade in a robot mode. And this is the better out of the 2. And this is a really good representation of her comic book art model. So the color scheme, as always, is mainly black and red MGO colors. Bits of blue on her wrists and her collar, and gold around her head. I really do like wings on jet formers because they make really cool designs for robot modes and leave an impressive silhouette. Now, the back cable, it's not too bad. There's the nose cone, the wings as I mentioned. There's fins right here and thrusters, and these make the heels for her robot mode feet. It's not that bad, honestly. I've seen much worse. The only thing I will say that actually does bother me, honestly, is the landing gear wheels molded onto her legs. It's unfortunate, but it happens. So, yeah. But really nice detail, and the black and red make a really good color scheme. I can see why MGO 316 chose this color scheme. It breaks up so nicely. Nothing stands out. It's just nice and fluid. And here's the Autobot symbol right on her chest. It's very tiny, but it's there. Now let's take a look at the head sculpt. This is very geisha inspired, which I really do dig. There's gold around here. She has a white face that kind of looks like makeup and the red markings. She has blue painted eyes. And I just dig the hair for the head sculpt. And she does have a fan on the back of her head. Now for articulation, her wings are on hinges so they can go back and forth and in and out. Ball jointed head, hinge shoulder pauldron, ball jointed torso, bicep swivel, hinge elbow, swivel wrist, swivel torso, ball jointed hips, hinge knees, and nothing for the ankles. So really good articulation, so you can have really great dynamic poses, and this would be great for kids to mess around and play with. Now, she does have accessories. Her main one is obviously her weapon, the Stormfall sword. So it does come in this scabbard. You can remove it, and here's that beautiful purple translucent plastic, and the nice transition from a solid purple to just clear. That just looks magnificent. And there is a turbine on the hilt that gives it that jet aesthetic, and she can obviously hold it. And because of her amazing articulation, she can actually hold it with both her hands if you want, if you can position it right. That is awesome. Not many Transformers could pull off two-handed sword-wielding poses. The only other figure I could think of is Drift. That is just awesome. And she does technically have another accessory. It's actually on her head. is the fan on her head. So here's the fan, and it has really nice detail all around for such a small piece. And she can technically hold it if you want. So if you want her to fan herself after a hot day, well, you can. That's really nice. Hasbro didn't have to do this, but it's a nice feature nonetheless. So enough of that, let's get into size comparisons. So here's Windblade next to Drift, who also started off in the IDW G1 comic books, and they look fantastic together, but in terms of scale, she is obviously shorter. So here's Windblade with another thrilling 30 figure, Deluxe class Bumblebee, and they look good together as well. In terms of height, they're practically about the same height. It's Bumblebee's shoulders that give the idea that he's taller. So here's Windblade next to another famous Jetformer and the most famous Seeker, Starscream, the classic / universe version. And they're the exact same height as well. And here is Windblade next to Leader class Power of the Prime's Optimus Prime and Voyager class Fall of Cybertron Soundwave. So my final thoughts, this is a decent figure. The vehicle mode unfortunately suffers from issues from being gappy, some parts won't tab in or close altogether. However, the robot mode is where it shines. Definitely looks like the character, the accessories are great, the articulation is just phenomenal. I definitely would recommend this figure, especially if you're a big fan of Windblade like I am. However, there's so many new Windblade figures to choose from, the choice is yours. I picked this version since this is based on the comic book where she started, so this will be my go-to Windblade. And I'm definitely excited for the Furai Transformers model kit to come later. This is from the thrilling 30 wave to celebrate Transformers' 30th anniversary, and 4 years from now it will be Transformers' 40th anniversary. And I am happy that this franchise has lasted so long and it will not go anywhere. So it will always continue to please fans such as myself. So this has been it for my review. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next. So until then, till all are one.